Hello and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we're going to be working on the Disney Dollhouse issue 53. And in this issue we're actually going to be starting to work a little bit more on, or not starting, we're going to be working a little bit more on the stairs from the, I believe it's the Frozen Room. So let me get the parts out. Nothing left in the box. Set this over here for recycling later. Actually, let's take a look. We have the extras here. We have a couple of flip-flops, and they are actually plastic. They are reasonable. Wood bottom. No, it is wood. It feels like it would be plastic, but we've got a couple of flip-flops. We have, I think it's a tie, because there is some Mexican theme in Donald's room. And a heart pillow. Kind of cool. Those will go in the ever-growing stack of stuff to put in the house once it's done. And then, let me get this open if I can. We have stairs. The banister, I believe these are side pieces for the stairs, and then the steps for the stairs. Let me go ahead and turn the page and double check. I think I need the stairs right now. So give me a second. Let me go across the room. I'll grab the stairs and be right back. Okay, here are the stairs that I've done so far, and these are the side trim for the stairs. I'm just looking. So this is going to be the top. This is going to be against the back wall. So the first thing it has us do is glue these pegs in here like this. You got 4 pegs that go into the 4 holes here. So let me go ahead and bring over the glue tray, a little bit of glue, and one of my 2 pin vices I now have set up. I have 2 set up. One, I tend to use them both for everything, but my original plan was one is for super glue and one is for wood glue. They tend to be, one is for everything and the other one is for everything as well. Let's put a little bit of this into the reservoir here. Probably more than too much, but that's okay. Set this over here, bring the glue over, and I'm just going to put some glue on each of the pins. It's not going to, when it's done, it's not going to be a area that gets moved at all. It's just to keep it in place. Realized just now, watching one of my own videos back, and I realized I need to bring my volume up on my voice. I'm not going to do it right now. Actually, I'm looking at it. I don't know if I need to bring my volume up on my voice or if I need to bring my intro audio down. Okay, so the next thing it says to do is we're going to, so it shows in the book the stairs like this, but we're going to run a little bead of glue on each of the steps to attach them to the steps on here. I'm just looking. Okay. These should be all the same. One thing I got to make sure I do is that pinhole has to be on this side so the banister will have somewhere to go. But I'm just going to put a little drop of glue on each of the pins, and we'll go from there. And I've realized that this glue is actually a little bit thick. I wanted medium thickness, but it does tend to string when using the pin vise. And so I'm making sure that I do not get that drip anywhere besides on here now. There's one. All of these have a letter D on them. Oops. Don't know that that denotes anything in particular, other than it's part D on this stairs. I'm not worried about throwing a whole bunch of glue on these because, like I said, whoops. Like I said, nothing's going to be prying these off except for me when I realize that I just put it on backwards. And so they don't need to have something holding it whole or really strenuously down. Yeah, and I looked when I put that one on and I was like, why is that one side of the stairs a little bit shorter than the other? Or shorter than the one above it? And I realized right then that I had put that one on backwards. Could have sucked if I had put it on and not realized that. I could probably get away with not even putting any glue on these at all. But I prefer to have these stick of their own accord. Or not so much stick, but stay in place. Two more left. What I'm doing, and I really should use, I have a thing called a glue looper. I could use that. For some reason, I always use a pin vise. It's a quick, easy way to grab a little bit of glue and put it exactly where you want it. The only problem with these little reservoirs is that the glue tends to spread out a little bit. You use it faster than you'd think. That little puddle is not dry, but it's almost all gone. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, see the thing, see, up. Okay, proved myself wrong. I was going to say it is stuck down, but it apparently was not, so let's just put a small bead right there. This one is the same. I don't think any of them are going to stick down. Like I said, I could probably let them be, but I don't want them to pop off later on. We do have grandkids, and they might, you know, some of them are girls. They might want to play with the house sometime. I don't know if my wife will let them. I don't think she should, but that's not for me to decide. Okay, so we've got these two pieces here, and they're going to go on here like this. One's going to go on there like that, and you can see that it is angled to where they will kind of match up. This one looks like it's a little bit farther down than it should be, but everything is lined up the way it was available to, so I'm not going to push it like that to where it's got that gap. But I am going to look and see, and you can tell the inside versus the outside of these. This is the outside, that'll go against the wall. Inside has this groove that goes up against the stairs. So this one is going to go on here like this, and it is pushed all the way in as far as it can go. Let's see if this one will fit where it's supposed to. Yeah, and if I push it down where I would like to have it with no gap there, it pushes this one down, out like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one on first, let it dry a little bit, and then I'm going to put the other one on, and I will probably have a little bit of a gap there. That should be enough. Let me double check. Let's go up here a little bit. So I want this to be pushed down as much as possible like that. Got a little bit of glue beyond the edge here. So I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to do a slight adjustment on here. I should be able to file that a little bit without screwing it up, because right now if I put this piece on, I end up with a pretty horrible gap there. Matter of fact, we're going to do a little bit there. We're going to do a little bit on this piece. The end pieces are not going to matter as long as the white look is correctly done when it's done. And just because, let me throw a couple clamps on here. I'm going to go, like I said, go do some adjustments, and I will be right back. Okay, I used the knife a little bit, a couple of files, did some sanding. This is about the best as it's going to get. Looks pretty good, and I sanded on both sides. So let's see, make sure after we got those in there. It's kind of funny they have you put this piece in first, which would not fit. It would have pushed the other piece down. So the next thing we got to do is put the banister on. I'm going to see if I can get enough glue in here that the pin vise will get enough to where it will actually grab. So we're going to put the banister on, and the only place I'm going to use the pin vise for is this hole right here. We've got the pins on the bottom of each post, and then there's a pin here that goes in there. So what I'm going to do, if I can get each of them in, no, that's not going to work. I was going to say what I'm going to do is if I can get each one into there, is I'm going to just dip them in. I've already got glue up here at the top, so I'm going to push, see if I can get these pushed in, or at least close, and then I'll pop some glue into each hole, or onto each piece, each pin, as I can. Most important is to get that part in there. That should make all of these line up pretty well. Okay, they're all in place. What I can do is take the glue and put a little drop to each spot. Before I push it down. Most important one is going to be the bottom one. It's very similar to my house banister. As long as the bottom is locked in place, the rest of them may shift a little bit, but they'll be staying where they're supposed to be. Which one moved? One of them moved to where I can't get it to push down. That one right there, that one right there. It's not wanting to cooperate here. Come on. Don't want to have to, but if it won't go in, I may have to cut the pins off. That is the hazard of super glue too, is if it dries before you're ready for it, it's going to stick where it's at. So this one here is being a little bit picky. And I'm being picky. I'm looking very close at them. And this one here is getting a gap under it. It should be fine. Let me try a little drop of glue right here on the edge. And then we'll push it down and see if it'll stay. If this will stay, it's not staying completely. It'll be fine though. You're never going to get as close as I'm looking at it. So that is all there is to do to build the stairs. Now to move on here, I will need to bring the house over, and it is huge. It's going to take up the whole table. So let me pause the camera real quick, and I will be right back once I get the house over here. Okay, there is the house, and here are the stairs. So these stairs are going to go in here like this. Oh, that's what I was wondering, what was keeping it from going in, and actually kind of says, it does say this in the instructions, to cut this little tab here and just fold it over, because that tab was blocking this tab from going in. So this is going to go in here like this, and it butts up against the door here and the back wall there, so it'll actually fit in there pretty solidly. Just make sure. Just looking at the instructions real quick before I go any further. Those are all good. And I'm not going to use the pin vise. I'm going to actually do this really quick. Using the glue here, because brand new tip. So what we need to do, double check where they're putting glue. They're only putting glue, and it makes sense. We're putting glue at the top of the stairs and then at the very bottom of the stairs. Although I'm looking at this, it's kind of funny because they have you putting glue all along this edge. But I don't think the glue is going to hold on to the air very well. It wants you to put glue along this edge, which there's nothing that it's going to attach to. So I'm going to put glue in the tab here and at the bottom here. And I think instead of super glue, I'm not going to need super glue. It doesn't need to dry that quickly. And I am going to add some glue along the outside here. I'm going to use the wood glue instead. So we can put glue in this tab here. And I am going to put glue down along the side here. Once this is in place, it's never coming out, so there's no problem with putting glue there. And then a little bit of glue along the bottom here. And so we'll just And I'm going to make sure I do not touch the glue to the wall before I get it really close to being in place. We'll just set that in there like that. Push this down, make sure it's pushed down there. And that is all there is to putting the stairs in. I am going to, on the, not sure what it would be called in English, but in the book it calls this a plinth. Might be a plinth in English as well. I do have the glue here. This is actually to cap off the bottom of the stairs. So I'm going to just put some glue along here. Like that. Try not to glue myself to it. Put it along here on the base of the stairs, covering it up, finishing the stairs up. And then there's the last two pieces that we have to put in are the trim pieces here from the last stage. Just looking how this goes on here. So that one goes on like that. This one will go on here like this. Again, I'm going to just use the wood glue real quick. Be sparing with it. I've actually started developing techniques that a decent modeler should have, which means I've started using a paintbrush with some of my glues. I never have before, but I'm finally getting to the point where I realize that's something I should be doing. I thinned down the paint. There we go. Push that down, and I just stuck my thumb or stuck my finger in the glue here, but push it down with my thumbnail to where it's flush. But no, the thing is, the glue is thick enough that you don't have to use it at full strength. I've started using wood glue. This wood glue I've started thinning with a little bit of water and then using a paintbrush to spread it, and it is looking really good when I do that. Like right there, probably too much glue. Hopefully I will get it to, it'll come out the top and not the bottom. Gotta work it past here. Come on. There we go. Had to get it past the stairs, and that's what I wanted. I wanted it to come out the top, not the bottom, because the bottom it would show inside the house. Make sure that's up against there, that's up against there, and everything is good except where I lost the cap to this glue. I sat it down somewhere. It probably fell on the floor. Not a big deal. That glue, there it is. I was going to say not a big deal. I have more of these bottles. But that, my friends, is all there is to do in this stage. It's looking good. It's gotten to the size that I can only show at decently one room at a time. What I'm wondering, because I don't know for sure, is does the next floor go on top before it's finished, or is it built? Is it built as a whole and then you set it on, or is it going to be built on top of here, which means I'll have to find a way to either raise my camera or move it completely. I'm pondering about this, but really, really happy with this. Doors work. This one's a little bit looser than the other one. I'm not sure which is better. When you get them all the way open, they do lock into place. But this one swings like a, just like a free-hung door there. This one stops. And it's probably that this needs to be out a little bit. Not a big deal. Not concerned about it either way. I think it's looking really good. So that is all I have for you at this time. Hope you're enjoying this build. I am immensely enjoying it. It is a great build. If you get a chance and you do like to build, I guess, a dollhouse like this, give it a shot. It is well worth it. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified of any time I post additional content. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow. And I will see you in the next video or stream.
Model mania, partwork models, plastic modeling, wooden models. Workman's model mania, partwork models, plastic modeling, wooden models.